Hello there, and welcome to Deep Sleep Science. I'm so glad you found your way here. Tonight, you have arrived in a quiet harbor of sound, a place softly lit by the glow of distant stars and the slow, steady rhythm of your own gentle breathing. The world outside may have been bright and busy, full of voices and motion, but here, the air grows still. Here, the lamps dim themselves, one by one, like old friends settling down for the evening. Here, time itself begins to slow, stretching out long and soft, like silk unfolding across a pillow of warm clouds. Let your shoulders sink. Let your jaw soften. Let the small worries of the day drift away from you, like paper boats carried gently down a moonlit stream. There is nothing to do now, nothing to solve. Nothing to hold on to. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Tonight, we are going to wander together through one of the most beautiful, mysterious places in the entire universe. Not a faraway galaxy, not a hidden ocean, but something far closer than that. We are going to drift, slowly and tenderly, through the soft folds and quiet rivers of the human brain. A landscape of whispering electricity, of dreams curled like sleeping cats, of memories floating like petals on still water. A place of wonder, woven gently inside you. If you find this peaceful place a comfort, you are warmly welcome to gently tap the like button and quietly subscribe. It is a small kindness that helps these soft stories find others who need rest, just as you do tonight. Now, let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath find its own slow tide. Let the room around you become a soft cocoon of warmth and quiet light. So, dear listener, let's begin this slow and soothing journey. And as we begin, imagine yourself sinking deeper into the softness beneath you, as though the bed itself were made of slow, drifting clouds. Each breath you take grows quieter, longer, kinder. Each thought becomes a small leaf, floating gently down a slow and silver river, carried away into the hush of night. Now, picture a tiny golden lantern, glowing softly in your hand. With it, we will walk together into the warm cathedral of the mind, where everything is gentle, everything is slow, and every fact we discover will fall over you like a soft, sleepy blanket of stars. The human brain weighs only about 3 pounds, yet within its quiet, velvet folds, entire universes drift like soft, glimmering clouds. Imagine a small, warm island of soft pink coral resting peacefully in a sea of stillness. That tender island is your brain, smaller than a loaf of fresh bread, lighter than a sleepy kitten curled in a sunbeam. And yet, it holds every melody you have ever loved, every sunset you have ever watched, every soft hand that has ever brushed against your cheek. It carries them gently, like a grandmother holding old letters tied with ribbon. Tonight, as you breathe slowly, that little coral island rests too. It softens, it glows, it hums in the same slow rhythm as your breath, releasing the day like petals drifting onto still, dark water. 3 small pounds, holding the entire weight of your beautiful, sleepy world. Inside that quiet island lives a gentle galaxy of nearly 86 billion small stars, each one a neuron, each one a tiny lantern of light. Picture them now, twinkling softly in the warm darkness of your skull, like fireflies sleeping in a midsummer meadow. They do not rush, they do not shout, they simply pulse, slow and tender, sending whispers from one tiny lantern to another across vast hushed distances. 86 billion small stars, each one connected to thousands of others, weaving an endless lace of light beneath your closed eyes. As you breathe in, the lanterns grow a little dimmer. As you breathe out, they settle further into their soft, golden rest. Your mind is not empty tonight. It is full of sleeping stars, drifting in formation, falling slowly into the warm, velvet silence of your dreaming sleep. These tiny stars do not stand alone. They are joined by silver threads, delicate as the strands of a spider's web caught in early morning dew. We call these threads synapses, and there are more of them inside you than there are stars in the visible night sky. Imagine a vast, glowing cobweb spread across a quiet forest at dawn, every strand softly shining, every droplet a small sleeping pearl. That web lives within you, gentle and luminous, humming with the slow music of your resting mind. When you remember a lullaby, when you smell warm bread, when you feel a soft blanket against your skin, those silver threads tremble ever so slightly, like wind chimes touched by the breath of a sleeping child. Tonight, they are calm. Tonight, they shimmer in stillness. Tonight, they cradle you toward the soft horizon of dreams. Imagine the surface of your brain unfolded, smoothed out like a soft linen sheet drying in summer sunlight. It would be larger than you might think, about the size of a folded pillowcase, gently rippled with valleys and gentle hills. These hills are called Giri, and the valleys between them Sulci, soft words like the names of small villages tucked into rolling green countryside. Picture yourself walking slowly through that sleepy landscape, the grass warm beneath bare feet, the light a honey-gold haze. Each hill cradles a memory. Each valley holds a quiet thought, resting like a deer asleep in tall grass. The entire countryside hums with a soft, low music, slower than a heartbeat, softer than a sigh. And as you wander, the hills lean toward you, the valleys fold around you, and the whole gentle landscape whispers, "Rest now, dear traveler, rest now." Your brain floats inside your skull, cradled in a soft, clear pool of cerebrospinal fluid. Imagine a small, pearly moon resting in a still mountain lake, weightless, suspended, gently rocking. That is how your brain rests inside you, every moment of every day, even now as you settle into bed. The fluid is cool, silken, the color of moonlight on glass. It cushions every dip and rise of the soft coral landscape, hushing every motion, softening every step. When you lay your head down upon your pillow, that little moon rocks ever so gently, like a paper boat upon a windless harbor. There is no jolt, no jarring, only the slow lull of a tiny tide. Your thoughts float in that tide, drifting outward like small lanterns released onto the water, carrying away the weight of the day into the silver hush of night. There is a slow, secret rhythm inside your head, a tide that rises and falls each night while you sleep. The cerebrospinal fluid we just imagined does not sit still. It moves slowly in long, patient waves, washing the soft coral folds clean. Picture a quiet beach at midnight, the sea breathing in and out, the sand growing smoother with every gentle pulse. Inside your skull, a similar tide flows, sweeping away the small dusts of the day, the tiny tirednesses, the soft shadows of thought. Scientists call this the glymphatic tide, but tonight we may simply call it the moonlight wash. It only flows fully when you sleep. It is the reason mornings feel new. So as you breathe slowly now, imagine that silvery tide rising, washing the inner shore of you, leaving everything softer, cleaner, kinder, ready for tomorrow's gentle dawn. Within the quiet country of your mind, there is a tiny seahorse, curled inside a velvet cave. We call it the hippocampus, named long ago for the small, graceful creature it resembles. Imagine two of them, one on each side, pale as pearl, drifting slowly in their warm, dark grottos. They are the keepers of memory, the soft librarians who tuck each day away onto a quiet shelf. Tonight, the small seahorses are gathering up the moments of your day with infinite tenderness. The color of the sky this afternoon, the taste of something warm, the sound of someone you love. They lift each memory like a fragile shell, polish it gently, and place it on its shelf in the deep, silent library. Then they yawn, curl their delicate tails, and fall asleep beside their work. And so, slowly, slowly, do you? Just behind your forehead lies a region called the prefrontal cortex, the great wise lighthouse of your inner shore. By day, its light sweeps far and wide, watching over decisions, plans, and the busy ships of your thoughts. But at night, the lighthouse keeper turns the great lamp low, The beam softens to a warm honey glow. The keeper sits down in a worn wooden chair, wraps a thick wool blanket around his shoulders, and watches the dark water grow still. Outside, the small ships of worry have all returned to harbor. The sails are folded, the ropes are coiled. There is nothing left to navigate, nothing left to steer. The keeper closes his eyes too, listening to the slow lap of waves against the stones below. And so the wise lighthouse of your forehead dims, gently, gently, into the deep velvet of your sleep. Deep within the center of the brain rests a small almond-shaped place called the amygdala. By day, it can be a watchful sentry, scanning the horizon for any small movement. But at night, when the world is soft and the door is locked and the tea has gone cool in the cup, the little sentry sets down its lantern. It removes its heavy coat. It sinks into a velvet armchair beside a low, glowing fire. Picture it now, almond-shaped and softly pink, breathing slowly with you, breath for breath. The flickering firelight paints gentle patterns on the cave walls of your mind. The sentry's eyes grow heavy, its watchfulness softens into wonder. There is nothing to guard tonight. There is no danger here. Only warmth, only firelight, only the slow, steady drumbeat of safety, lulling the small almond into a deep, deep rest. Hidden beneath your great cerebrum, there is a smaller, rounder shape called the cerebellum, which means little brain. Imagine a small, soft cauliflower made of starlight, tucked at the base of your skull like a hidden bird's nest in the curve of an ancient tree. The cerebellum keeps your balance, your grace, the smooth music of your movements. By day, it teaches your fingers to write, your feet to walk, your hands to lift a teacup without spilling a drop. But by night, all that practice is allowed to rest. The little starlight cauliflower glows softly, gently, like a lantern wrapped in moss. It hums a slow, quiet tune, the same tune your body knows by heart. And as you lie there, perfectly held, perfectly still, the little brain folds its soft wings around itself and drifts down into a warm, deep dream. Tucked deep inside, near the very center of your head, a tiny pine-cone-shaped gland begins its quiet evening work. We call it the pineal gland, and it is no bigger than a single grain of rice. As darkness falls outside your window, this small pine cone awakens, and slowly, slowly it begins to release a soft, silvery dust called melatonin. Imagine a tiny lantern keeper scattering moonlight powder along the corridors of your body. Wherever the powder falls, your muscles soften, your thoughts grow long and lazy, your breath deepens like a tide moving toward shore. The pine cone does not hurry. It releases its sleepy dust one slow grain at a time, like sand passing through an hourglass, and with every grain, you sink a little deeper into the warm hollow of your pillow. The lantern keeper smiles gently, and the moonlight settles all around you. Your brain is the hungriest little creature you carry with you, sipping nearly 20% of all your body's energy, even when it appears to be resting. Imagine a tiny, sleepy hummingbird, soft pink and softly glowing, drinking from a deep, warm pool of golden honey. It does not gulp, it only sips, slowly, contentedly, its small wings folded against its body as it floats above the surface. By day, the hummingbird is bright and busy, but at night, it slows its drinking to a gentle, dreamy rhythm. Each sip a small comfort, each sip a small lullaby. The honey pool below is endless and warm, lit from within by a kind golden light. And so your brain feeds itself in the softest possible way, while you, dear listener, lie warm beneath your blankets, breathing in time with the small, sleepy hummingbird inside you. There are many kinds of brain waves, like different songs played on different strings. By day, when you are alert, there are quick, busy waves called beta. But as you settle into sleep, slower songs begin. First come the alpha waves, calm as ripples on a still pond, then the theta waves, deeper, like the long sigh of an old wooden cello. And finally, deepest of all, the delta waves, slow and grand as ocean swells beneath a midnight sky. Imagine an old harpist, sitting beside a quiet sea, brushing the strings with the back of one gentle hand. The sound is so soft it feels less like music and more like the breath of the sea itself. That is the music inside your sleeping mind. Long, slow waves rolling in from somewhere ancient, somewhere kind, carrying you out, far out, into the velvet deep. Each night, your brain builds dreams from the gentle scraps of your day, like a small, kind weaver at a loom in a candlelit room. Picture her now, a quiet figure with silver hair, sitting before a wooden frame strung with moonbeams. She gathers up the loose threads of your afternoon, a color you noticed, a word someone spoke, the warmth of tea on your hands, and she begins, slowly, to weave. Her fingers move without hurry. The threads are soft as thistledown. The patterns she weaves are strange and beautiful, full of doors that lead to gardens, of staircases that climb into clouds. She does not explain her work. She only smiles to herself as she weaves, and when morning comes, she rolls up her cloth, hides it in a hidden drawer, and lets you wake, gently puzzled, gently moved, gently new. At the heart of your brain, two small, egg-shaped places lie nestled side by side, called the thalamus. Think of them as the soft, sleepy gatekeepers of all that you sense. By day, they pass along sights, sounds, the touch of fabric on skin, like courteous ushers leading guests into a great hall. But at night, they slowly close the heavy wooden doors. The hall grows quiet, the candles dim. The world outside still murmurs, but its voices are now muffled, distant, like a conversation heard through a thick velvet curtain. The little gatekeepers settle into their cushioned chairs by the door, fold their hands in their laps, and rest. No more guests will pass tonight. The hall belongs only to you, dear listener, and to the slow, low music of your own slow breathing, gently echoing in the warm marble silence. When you fall asleep, your brain does not switch off, not all at once. Instead, it slips through soft layers, one by one, like a swimmer descending into a warm, dark pool. The first layer is the lightest, where the surface still shimmers with bits of waking. The second is a little deeper, where small twitches of memory pass like silver fish. The third is deeper still, where the water grows almost black and infinitely calm. And then, at the very bottom, there is the dream layer, where strange and beautiful currents carry you wherever they please. Imagine yourself floating downward through these warm, gentle pools, slower and slower, your breath quieter than a whisper. There is no rush to reach the bottom. Each layer holds you longer than the last. Each one wraps you in a softer, deeper, kinder hush. While you sleep, your brain rehearses what it learned during the day, like a small orchestra practicing in an empty concert hall. Picture the velvet seats all empty, the stage lit only by the soft glow of brass lamps, the conductor barely visible in the dim light. The musicians, your neurons, lift their instruments and play through the day's lessons one more time, very, very softly. The way you tied your shoe, the new word you read, the face of someone you met. They play each one again, slowly, smoothing every note, polishing every phrase. The music is barely audible, hardly more than a feeling in the air. Yet by the time morning comes, the symphony will be a little richer, the memory a little deeper, the skill a little surer. And so you sleep, while inside, the music perfects itself in the quiet velvet hall. There is a soft, ancient part of your brain, called the brainstem, sitting at the base of your skull like the trunk of a great old tree. Its roots reach down into your spine. Its branches reach up into the rest of the brain. By day and by night, minds the slow, faithful chores of you, the lifting and falling of your chest, the quiet rhythm of your heart, the steady warmth of your skin. It never sleeps. Not really. Not even now. But it does grow quieter, slower, more dreamlike. Imagine a great oak tree at midnight, its leaves whispering only when the wind chooses to speak. The owl in its branches is silent. The deer at its roots are still. The tree itself simply breathes the cool night air, in and out, holding the whole, soft forest of you in its patient, loving keep, Your brain is mostly water, nearly 75%, like a small, warm sea cradled inside the round bowl of your skull. Imagine a tiny ocean, just big enough to fit in cupped hands, glimmering with the soft phosphorescence of sleeping fish. The water is gentle, salty, slightly warm. The currents move slowly, the way rivers move in dreams. Beneath the surface, the soft coral folds we have spoken of grow like quiet gardens, swaying ever so slightly with the inner tide. Tonight, that little ocean is at its calmest. The wind has gone home. The seabirds are tucked away. Even the moon above the small ocean has lowered her veil. There is only the slow, faint sparkle of life beneath the surface, like distant lanterns swaying in the deep. And you, dear listener, breathe slowly with the tide of your own quiet inner sea. Your brain has no pain receptors of its own. Even though it is the place where all sensations are felt, it cannot feel anything within itself. It rests inside you like a sleeping child wrapped in the softest of blankets, untouched by hurt, untouched by hurry. Imagine a tiny figure dreaming inside a snow globe, the world around it, gentle and held. The little child does not feel the snow. It does not feel the glass. It only feels the dream it is dreaming, soft and whole. So too your brain, in its bath of moonlit fluid, in its cradle of careful bone. Whatever the day may have brought to your shoulders, your back, your fingertips, none of it touches that quiet child within. Tonight, that child smiles in its sleep, dreaming a dream so gentle that even the snowflakes refuse to fall. The two halves of your brain are joined by a soft white bridge called the corpus callosum, woven of millions of fine silver threads. Imagine a slender footbridge over a still mountain river, lit by paper lanterns at every step. By day, small messengers cross this bridge endlessly, carrying notes from one side of the mind to the other. But by night, the messengers slow their steps. They walk in twos and threes, holding lanterns aloft, speaking softly so as not to wake the sleeping water below. Some pause at the center of the bridge to gaze down into the mirror of stars. Some lay their lanterns down and rest a moment on the wooden rail. And so the great bridge between your two minds becomes a quiet processional of small glowing lights, walking peacefully into the deep velvet hush of your night. Your sense of smell takes a different path through the brain than your other senses, an older, quieter, more secret path. While sights and sounds pass through the great hall of the thalamus, scents wander instead through the dim corridors of memory. That is why a single soft fragrance can return you in an instant to a long-forgotten afternoon. Imagine an old corridor in a sleeping house lit by one warm candle. A faint scent drifts down the hallway, the smell of cinnamon, of pine, of someone's grandmother. With each step you take, doors open quietly on either side, revealing rooms full of golden afternoons, picnics, kitchens, summer rain. You do not need to enter, only to walk slowly and to breathe. Tonight that hallway is hushed and dim, but its candles still flicker softly, keeping every dear scent safe for you. Inside your brain there are tiny helpers called glial cells, more numerous than the bright neurons themselves. They are the gentle gardeners of the inner forest. They feed the trees, they tidy the paths, they sweep the fallen leaves. By day, they work without notice. But by night, when the forest grows still, you can almost hear them. Soft footsteps on moss, the rustle of small brooms, the quiet murmur of caretakers content in their work. Picture a moonlit grove where 100 small lanterns drift between the trees, carried by little figures in soft grey cloaks. They polish each leaf, water each root, pat the warm earth back into place. They love this forest, they love its sleeping creatures, and they love you. The great quiet sky above their world, breathing in and out, allowing all of it to be cared for, gently, gently. Your eyes do not actually see, not by themselves. They simply gather light, like two small bowls catching rain, and pass it on to the back of your brain, where the seeing truly happens. There, in a quiet chamber called the visual cortex, the rain becomes a painting. The painting becomes a memory. The memory becomes a feeling, soft and warm. Imagine an old artist sitting in a candlelit studio at the back of your mind, painting all day long without ever growing tired. By night, even she sets down her brush. She wipes her hands on a soft linen apron. She covers her canvases with grey silk cloths. The studio darkens, but it does not feel empty. It feels deeply, restfully full. Full of all the beautiful images she has made for you today, now resting beneath their silken veils, dreaming their own quiet dreams. The color blue is one of the gentlest colors your brain has ever learned to see. There was a time, long ago in human history, when many languages had no separate word for blue at all, and the deep evening sky was simply called dark or quiet, or the color of the sea. Imagine standing on a soft hilltop at dusk, watching the world slowly turn from gold to rose to that ancient nameless blue. The grass beneath your bare feet grows cool. The first soft star appears, no brighter than a thought, and the great blue silence of the sky falls down around you like a velvet cloak. Tonight, that same gentle blue is settling all around your bed, draping itself softly over your shoulders, your blankets, your slow and sleepy breath, easing you down into the calm, ancient hush of a dreaming world. The brain learns best in the gentle hours just before sleep, when the world has softened and the lamps have dimmed. Imagine a small, warm classroom at the very edge of evening, its tall windows full of dusky lavender light. The wooden desks are empty. The chalkboard is wiped clean. Only the small golden glow of a single lantern remains at the front of the room. Whatever you have read, whatever you have thought of in these slow last hours, the kind teacher inside you gathers up and tucks gently into a velvet drawer for safekeeping. She locks the drawer with a tiny silver key. She blows out the lantern. She closes the door without a sound, and the little classroom of your mind grows still, content with its day's work, ready to dream the lessons into something deeper, softer, kinder, by the slow and silver morning light. While you sleep, your brain produces a wash of soothing chemicals, like a quiet apothecary mixing slow tonics in a candlelit shop. There is serotonin, the warmth of contentment. There is GABA, the soft hush of calm. There is melatonin, the silver dust of sleep itself. Imagine the apothecary now, an old, kind figure in a long grey robe, moving slowly between shelves of glass bottles that glow with gentle inner light. He measures each tonic with the patience of moonlight. He stirs each one with a small glass rod that chimes faintly, like a distant bell. Then he pours them, drop by drop, into the warm pool of your sleeping mind. And you, dear listener, sink a little deeper with each drop, your shoulders softening, your forehead smoothing, your breath unfurling like a long silken ribbon trailing softly into the dark. Your brain holds an internal map of your body, called the homunculus, a soft little portrait of you stitched into the folds of the cortex. It is not drawn to scale. The hands and lips are large, because they feel so much while the back and shoulders are small. Imagine a tiny embroidered figure on a velvet cushion, sewn with silver thread, lit by a single warm bedside lamp. Tonight that little figure is curled on its side, just as you are. Its embroidered hands are tucked beneath its embroidered cheek. Its eyes are closed. Its small breath rises and falls in time with yours. The seamstress who made it long ago smiles quietly from a shadowed corner of the room, watching her tiny creation rest. And so a soft portrait of you sleeps within you, mirroring your peace, multiplying your peace, gently, gently. The brain shrinks slightly each night during sleep, not from harm, but from cleansing, as the spaces between the cells widen to let the silvery, glymphatic tide flow through. Imagine a quiet city, where the streets gently broaden in the evening, allowing soft canals to fill them with moonlit water. Small boats glide along, lifting away whatever the day has dropped, a stray leaf, a fallen petal, a forgotten note. The buildings sit serenely on their banks, watching the water rise and fall. Nothing is anxious, nothing is rushed. By morning, the canals will recede, the streets will narrow once again, and the city will be a little brighter, a little kinder, washed entirely clean. So your sleeping brain becomes a city of peaceful waterways tonight, And you, dear listener, are the great kind sky above it, breathing slowly over its silver streets. Music has a special path through the brain, weaving between many regions at once, like a silken thread, passing through many quiet hands. A familiar melody can wake the memory, the emotion, the body, all at the same time. Imagine an old music box opening on a dressing table by the window, its tiny dancer turning slowly in the moonlight. Each note is a small bell. Each bell is a small light. The light spreads softly through every corner of your mind, gilding the edges of memory, lifting the corners of feeling, soothing every little ache of the day. Tonight, the music box plays the slowest tune it knows. The dancer moves no faster than a breath. The notes fall like petals onto the silver tabletop, until even the dancer grows tired, and the music box closes itself with a tiny, contented sigh. The brain creates the feeling of time, but in dreams, time becomes a soft, stretchy fabric. A dream that lasts only minutes can feel like a long afternoon, full of skies and mountains and entire conversations. Imagine a small, sleepy tailor sitting cross-legged in a workshop full of moonlit silks. He takes the ordinary cloth of minutes and gently stretches it, smooths it, folds it, until it spills over his low wooden table like a river of soft, glimmering blue. There is no hurry in his hands, there is no clock on his wall. He is making time for you tonight, all the time you might need to wander where you wish. So when you slip into your dreams, you may have hours and hours of soft, dreaming countryside to explore, even though the small clock by your bed has barely whispered a single quiet tick. The brain has its own warm scent of memory, called olfactory imagination, where you can almost smell things that are not there. Think of fresh bread, and a faint aroma drifts through your mind. Think of pine forests, of rain on warm earth, of someone's old wool coat, each scent stored away in a small, fragrant drawer in the great cabinet of your inner hallway. Imagine that cabinet now, its many tiny drawers labeled in delicate handwriting, its wood dark and polished by years of soft hands. Tonight, no one disturbs the drawers. They rest closed, content, full of their fragrances and their afternoons. The hallway is dim and quiet, lit by one soft lamp at the far end. Whatever scents you may need tomorrow, they are safe here, safely kept, like warm loaves on a high pantry shelf, waiting for the morning's slow, slow light. Inside your skull, the brain hums at a temperature very close to the rest of your body, just slightly warmer in places where it works most. By night, that gentle warmth slowly evens out, like a kettle taken off the stove and set down on a soft wool cloth. Imagine a small, glowing hearth at the center of you, its embers banked for the long, quiet night. The fire is not bright. It does not crackle. It only breathes, softly, with a slow orange light. Around the hearth, the velvet folds of your inner room grow cozy, peaceful, perfectly warm. The cat of your mind curls up before the fire. The teacup of your day cools slowly on the small wooden table. The stars outside climb higher, and the gentle hearth keeps you warm, keeps you safe, keeps you held, all night long. The brain develops in the womb in a slow, beautiful unfolding, like a fern fiddlehead opening one delicate curl at a time. Long before you were born, those tiny silver threads we call neurons reached out into the warm dark, finding one another, weaving themselves into the lace of who you would become. Imagine an underwater garden, lit by soft green light, where small ferns and mosses unfurl to a music too gentle to hear. Each tiny leaf opens with infinite patience, each stem rises with infinite trust. So slowly did your mind grow into being, so tenderly was every part of you stitched, that even now, when you lie down at night, there is a memory of that first quiet darkness, that first weightless safety, and it cradles you still like a soft, ancient water, holding you up into the velvet hush of sleep. The brain loves repetition. It is how it learns, how it remembers, how it settles into peace. the slow refrain of a lullaby, the gentle lap of waves on a shore, the steady tick of a wooden clock in a warm hallway. Imagine an old grandfather clock at the end of a long corridor, its pendulum swinging slowly, its low, soft tock filling the quiet house. With every tock, your shoulders sink a little further into the pillow. With every tock, your breath grows a little longer, a little softer. The clock does not hurry. The clock does not slow. It is the heartbeat of the sleeping house, of the sleeping street, of the sleeping town, of the great sleeping countryside beyond. And inside you, your brain hums in time with the old clock, slipping deeper and deeper into the warm, kind rhythm of rest. There is a gentle network in the brain called the default mode network, which becomes most active when you simply rest and let your mind wander. It is the soft inner river along which daydreams float. Imagine a slow, mossy river curling through a sleepy valley at dusk. There are no boats on it, only small leaves, small petals, small paper lanterns released from far upstream. They drift past you one by one, glowing faintly, asking nothing of you. They are your gentle thoughts at rest, taking themselves wherever they please. Tonight you do not have to follow any of them. You may simply sit at the river's edge, in soft, deep grass, and watch them go. The river hums an old, low tune. The lanterns nod their small golden heads, and slowly, slowly, you lie back in the grass and let the river carry you too. Your hippocampus, the small seahorses we spoke of earlier, can grow new cells throughout your whole life. A quiet wonder called neurogenesis. Each gentle day, each kind night, tiny new lights are born in those soft velvet caves. Imagine a hidden grotto deep beneath warm waters, lit by the slow blue glow of tiny phosphorescent creatures. Now and then, a new little light blinks into being, joining the others, drifting along the walls of the grotto like a slow underwater snowfall. Tonight, perhaps a small new light is being born within you, soft and trembling, ready to carry tomorrow's first kind moment safely into memory. You do not need to do anything, you only need to rest. And the gentle sea inside you will tend its own little stars, adding new ones as you sleep. Like a sky quietly multiplying its constellations through the deep velvet night, the brain understands kindness as a kind of medicine. A soft word, a warm touch, a gentle look from someone you love. All of these release small chemical balms inside you, soothing the heart, easing the mind. Imagine a tiny apothecary's garden tucked deep within you, full of silver leaves and pale flowers that only bloom at night. When kindness arrives, the flowers open. When you remember a loved one's voice, the leaves shimmer in a slow, sweet wind. Tonight, perhaps you're remembering a small kindness from your day, or from long ago, or simply imagining one to come. As you do, that little inner garden grows fragrant. The pale flowers nod, the silver leaves whisper, and the air around you fills with the soft perfume of being cared for, carrying you gently down into the warm depths of dreaming sleep. Your brain has a quiet rhythm of its own, a soft inner clock that keeps slow time across the day, called the circadian rhythm. By morning, it brightens you. By night, it softens you, like an unseen conductor lifting and lowering a velvet baton. Imagine a great kind clockmaker who lives in a small wooden house at the edge of a forest. His clocks are made of stars, his pendulums are made of moonlight. By evening he walks among them, gently slowing each one. His footsteps are soft, his hands are sure. As each clock slows, the world outside grows hushed. The windows of all the houses dim, the people, the birds, the very flowers begin to nod. And inside you, the same kind clockmaker is moving now, slowing your inner stars, until you too are a quiet, glowing clock, ready for the long, soft night. Laughter, like sleep, is a deeply restorative gift to the brain, releasing soft chemicals that loosen every tight place inside you. Even the memory of laughter, the echo of a kind chuckle, the soft warmth of a smile can bring its quiet medicine. Imagine a small tucked-away tea room inside your mind, where old friends sit around a warm wooden table, gently telling stories. Their laughter is low and golden, like honey poured into a teacup. The candles flicker, the kettle hums outside the round window. Soft snow falls on a quiet street. You do not need to join the conversation tonight. You may simply sit in the doorway, listening, smiling. Their laughter slowly soaks into the walls of your mind, into the soft folds of you, into the deep, sleepy harbor of your chest. And every small worry, quietly dissolves. The brain is endlessly curious, always reaching out toward the new and the wonderful, like a small child stretching a hand toward a sunbeam. Yet it is also deeply soothed by what is familiar, what is gentle, what is known. Imagine an old library at the heart of you, with tall shelves of leather books and a single soft armchair beside a low fire. By day, you go out wandering, gathering new pages from the world. By night, you return, and the kind old librarian takes them gently from your hands and slides them into their proper places on the shelves. She brings you a cup of warm milk. She tucks a soft blanket around your shoulders. She turns down the lamp until only a single, warm glow remains. And there in the quiet of your inner library, your curious mind allows itself to rest. The brain produces dreams in vivid color, even though it works in the quiet darkness of your skull. It dreams in golds and silvers, in deep ocean blues, in the soft pinks of early skies. Imagine a hidden lantern shop high on a mountain, where each lantern is filled with a different color of moonlight. The shopkeeper is small and kind, with eyes the color of wood smoke. As you fall asleep, she selects lanterns for you, one by one, hanging them along the gentle paths your dream will wander. A lantern of soft rose for the meadow, a lantern of pale silver for the river, a lantern of warm honey for the doorway of a friendly cottage you have never seen. By the time you arrive at your dream, the road is lit, soft and beautiful, all the way to the morning. Touch is one of the brain's first languages, learned long before words. The skin and the brain were once the same tiny layer of cells in the very earliest days of you, and they remember each other still. That is why a soft blanket, a warm hand, a gentle weight upon you, speaks straight to the deep, quiet places of the mind. Imagine a soft cotton sheet being drawn slowly up around your shoulders by unseen, kindly hands. The sheet is warm. The sheet is light. The sheet smells faintly of sun and of lavender. With each soft tuck, the brain whispers, "You are safe, you are safe, you are safe." The walls of you grow gentle. The corners of you grow round. And the deep first language of touch tells you, in its simplest, oldest way, that you are tenderly held tonight. The brain dreams more in the second half of the night, in long lyrical bursts called REM sleep, where the eyes flutter softly beneath closed lids. Imagine a small theater opening only in the deep hours, its red velvet curtains parting just for you. The audience is a single sleepy figure, you, wrapped in a blanket, holding a paper cup of something warm. The stage is lit in soft amber. The actors move slowly, speaking lines that sometimes rhyme and sometimes do not. You are not asked to understand, you are only asked to watch, with kind, drifting eyes. The plays are strange and tender, the plays are funny and beautiful, and when the curtains finally close near morning, you walk softly back along the dim theater aisle into waking, carrying with you only a small, mysterious feeling of having been somewhere lovely. A single quiet thought can travel across your brain in less than a heartbeat, like a small bird flitting across a white, still meadow at dawn. By day, the meadow is busy with such flights, but by night, the birds settle into the long grass, tucking their heads beneath warm wings. Imagine that meadow now, lit by a low, generous moon. The grasses stand tall and silvery. A gentle mist hovers low over the ground, soft as breath. Here and there, a small bird stirs in its sleep, shifts its wings, settles again. Whatever thoughts are still traveling in you tonight, let them be like those few last little birds, finding their resting place in the cool, kind grass. There is no hurry to think anything more. The meadow is large, the night is long, and every small wing slowly comes to gentle rest. Your brain lights up softly in the moments before you fall asleep, in a gentle blooming called hypnagogia, where shapes drift behind your closed eyes like petals on slow water. Some see soft stars, some see gentle landscapes, some see colors they cannot quite name. Imagine a quiet pond at twilight, its surface dotted with floating lily pads. Each lily pad holds a small glowing flower, opening one slow petal at a time. As you watch from the soft mossy bank, more flowers unfurl, more lights gather, until the whole pond is a slow drifting field of pale, dreamy lanterns. There is no need to choose any of them. There is no need to follow any of them. They simply float, and you simply float with them, deeper and deeper into the warm waters of sleep, where the lily pads finally close their gentle glowing eyes. Your brain, like any soft creature, loves a comfortable temperature, a little cool around it, a little warm beneath it. That is why a slightly cool room and a warm blanket lull it so easily into rest. Imagine a small fox in a hollow at the foot of an ancient tree. Outside the hollow, the air is crisp and silver. Inside, the fox is curled on a soft bed of dry leaves, its bushy tail wrapped neatly across its nose. The cool air kisses the tips of its ears. The warm leaves cradle its small ribs, and the fox, content beyond words, drifts into a deep, twitching, dreaming sleep. So you, dear listener, are that small fox tonight, in your own warm hollow, with the cool night brushing softly past your face, and the warm blanket holding the rest of you in perfect peace. The brain has a slow, kind way of forgetting small, unimportant things, like a quiet librarian, removing tickets from books that are no longer needed. This gentle pruning is part of how the mind keeps itself spacious and clear. Imagine the librarian now, walking the long aisles of you with a small wooden cart. She pauses at a shelf. She lifts a book. She slips out a single faded ticket, an old worry, a forgotten errand, a small irritation, and lets it flutter down into her cart, where it becomes nothing more than a leaf. She does this with such tenderness that the books themselves are not disturbed. By morning, your inner library will be a little cleaner, a little roomier, a little kinder. And tonight as she works, the soft squeak of her wooden cart is the gentlest possible lullaby in the long, dim aisles of you. Your brain forms a special kind of memory for places called spatial memory, helped by tiny cells called grid cells and place cells. They are how you find your way home in the dark, how you remember the path through a familiar garden. Imagine a small, kind cartographer who lives in your hippocampus, drawing maps by candlelight. The maps are made of thin, soft paper, lit from beneath by a low golden lamp. He sketches every quiet hallway you have walked today, every bend of the road, every doorway, every step. By night, he gathers up the maps with great care. He folds them. He ties them with cotton string. He places them in a wooden chest beside his desk and blows out the candle. Tomorrow, he will unroll them again. But tonight, even the cartographer sleeps, leaning gently on his folded maps. The brain understands rest as a kind of homecoming, a return to the slow, warm center of the self. Whatever the day asked of you, whatever roads you walked, your mind always knows the way back to this still, soft place. Imagine a small lamp burning in the window of an old wooden cottage at the edge of a quiet wood. The cottage is yours. The lamp has been left there for you all day long, kind and patient. As you walk slowly along the moss-covered path toward it, the trees around you bow their heads. The fireflies float beside you. The door opens before you with a soft creak, and inside, the bed is turned down, the blanket warm, the air full of the scent of slow, low fires. Your brain has been guiding you home all evening, and tonight, at last, you arrive. Inside the small, kind cottage of your mind, the fire glows low and steady, casting long, gentle shadows across the wooden walls. The brain, like the cottage, has many quiet rooms, some for memory, some for feeling, some for dreaming. Tonight, every door is unlocked, every lamp is dimmed, every floorboard sighs softly beneath the weight of peace. Imagine yourself walking from room to room, your hand brushing lightly along old wooden walls. In one room, a teapot still steams gently on a small stove. In another, a soft cat purrs upon a folded blanket. In another still, a window looks out onto a slow, falling snow. Each room is a part of you, kind and waiting. And in the very last room, the deepest room, a soft bed is already turned down for you. Fragrant with linen, lit by a single candle, ready, ready, ready. The brain pays special attention to soft, repeating sounds, like rain on a window, the low hush of a fire, or the slow lap of waves. These sounds are called pink noise, and they soothe the mind like a warm hand on a tired forehead. Imagine you are tucked beneath a thick quilt in an old wooden cabin, listening to a gentle rain on the roof. Each drop is a small, kind tap. Each tap loosens another small worry from your shoulders. The window is dark, but the rain is steady, patient, endless. Behind your closed eyes, the rain becomes silver thread, weaving a soft blanket of sound around your bed. You do not need to count the drops. You do not need to follow them. You only need to lie there, warm and held, while the slow, sleepy rain hums you down into the deep. Your brain is filled with millions of tiny rivers called dendrites, slender branches reaching out from each neuron like the delicate twigs of winter trees. Through these branches, all the soft messages of you flow. Imagine a forest of pale silver birches in deep snow, their branches finely traced against a soft gray sky. The whole forest stands utterly still. A faint, kind light, neither morning nor evening, drifts through the branches. Tiny flakes of snow land softly on the upturned twigs, then slip away. There is no wind, there is no sound except for the soft creak of the trees as they breathe. And inside you, this very forest stands now, hushed and luminous, every slender twig at perfect rest, every quiet message slowing to a whisper, then to nothing, as you sink deeper, deeper into the warm white silence of sleep. The brain becomes wonderfully imaginative as you grow drowsy, conjuring small, strange pictures that drift behind your closed eyes. A floating staircase, a door in a tree, a garden where the flowers ring like little bells. These images do not need to be understood. They are simply gifts, small offerings from the soft hand of your sleeping mind. Imagine a kind, hooded figure walking slowly along a moonlit path, leaving these little gifts on the doorstep of your dreaming. They place each one gently, with a small bow, and walk on without looking back. By the time you wake, you may not remember what they brought, but somewhere inside you, you will feel a quiet warmth, a faint sweetness, the kind of feeling left by a gift you cannot quite recall. And this is enough. This is enough for the deep, kind night. The brain learns languages in slow, beautiful waves, building soft bridges between sound and meaning over long, quiet years. Even now, while you sleep, those bridges hum faintly, holding every word you have ever loved, the lullabies your mother sang, the stories told before bed, the names of small streets in your hometown. Imagine an old stone bridge over a slow, broad river at dusk, its arches reflected perfectly in the still water. Lanterns hang along its rail, glowing warmly in the dim. You walk slowly across this bridge tonight, your steps echoing kindly off the stones. Below, the river carries small leaves, small petals, small whispered words. They float on, peacefully. The lanterns flicker, the bridge holds you up, and somewhere on the other side of it lies the soft, warm country of your dreams, where every word you know is sleeping in its bed. There is a quiet beauty in the way the brain processes silence. Even silence has a sound, called the soft hush of zero, the gentle whisper of nothing at all. The brain leans towards silence the way a tired traveler leans toward a warm hearth. Imagine a wide, snowy field at dusk, with no footprints, no birds, no wind. The sky is the color of pearl. The snow is the softest gray. The world holds itself entirely still. You stand at the edge of this great field, listening to the silence. It is not empty, it is full. Full of patience, full of safety, full of the slow, kind breathing of the earth. Tonight, that silence wraps itself around your bedroom, your bed, your shoulders, your forehead. Even the small clock by your bed seems to tick more softly. Even your own heart seems to whisper. Hush, hush. The brain works closely with the heart, the two of them speaking through soft messengers all day long. When the heart slows, the brain slows. When the brain quiets, the heart quiets too. Tonight, they are speaking in whispers. Imagine two old friends sitting at a wooden table by a low fire, sharing a single cup of warm golden tea. They do not need many words, a sigh, a nod, a slow smile. The fire crackles softly, the tea steams gently. Outside the small window, a quiet snow continues to fall. With each shared breath between them, the room grows warmer. With each shared sip, the room grows quieter. And inside you, the great old friendship of your heart and your brain settles deeply into its evening, holding you safely between them. One soft beat, one soft breath, one soft beat, one soft breath. Imagination has its own gentle landscape inside the brain, a soft, hidden country called the imagination network. By day, it gives you stories, plans, daydreams. By night, it tucks all its colors into a great velvet bag and slips them under your pillow. Imagine a tiny, kind storyteller wandering through your bedroom on slippered feet. She gathers up the bright threads of every thought you had today, every wish, every passing fancy. She winds them carefully onto a small wooden spool. She slips the spool into a deep velvet pouch. She places the pouch beneath your pillow with the softest of pats. There, safe, the threads will keep until morning. The colors will not fade. And tonight, as you sleep, she sits in a little chair by the window, humming an old tune about clouds and oceans and the kindness of slow, slow time. Each tiny neuron in your brain is wrapped in a soft, fatty coating called myelin, which keeps the gentle messages flowing smoothly. It is like the warm wool insulation in the walls of an old country house, keeping the inside cozy when the world outside grows cold. Imagine, then, that every silver thread inside you is wrapped in soft, pale wool. The whole inner forest of you is hushed and warm. Snow may fall outside. Wind may stir the branches, but within, a deep, woolen stillness holds every little message in a slow, kindly hush. You can almost feel it now, a great, soft quiet inside your head, layer upon layer of softness, like 1,000 woolen scarves wound gently around the world of you. And in the heart of all that softness, you breathe slowly, 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 asleep. The brain often replays small, treasured moments before sleep, like a kind storyteller flipping softly through a favorite picture book. The taste of something warm, the view from a familiar window, the face of someone who loves you. Imagine a small wooden bookshop at the end of a cobbled lane, its windows glowing amber against the deep blue evening. Inside, an old shopkeeper turns the pages of a single beautiful book by candlelight. The pictures are faded but tender, painted in colors so soft they seem to breathe. Tonight, perhaps the shopkeeper turns to a page from your own life, a quiet afternoon, a kind hello, a small joy you almost forgot. He smiles down at the page. He runs his thumb gently along the corner. Then he closes the book with great care, sets it on the table, and dims the lamp. And so do you. The brain enjoys small, slow rituals, the way a child enjoys the same bedtime story night after night. Brushing teeth, folding a blanket, tucking a pillow, just so. Each small motion tells the mind, the day is ending, the rest is beginning. Imagine a gentle priestess of sleep, dressed in soft grey, moving slowly through your home each evening. She closes the curtains, she turns down the lamps, she lays out a soft robe at the end of your bed. She does this not because she must, but because she loves you. Each small motion is a little prayer. Each little prayer is a soft step toward the warm doorway of dreams. By the time she finishes her quiet round, the whole house is breathing slowly with you, and the priestess herself slips silently into the shadows, her gentle work done, her gentle love still hovering in the room. Your brain sees more in the dark than you might think. It fills in soft shapes, soothes harsh edges, and lets the world become tender in the low light. That is why night feels gentler than day, even to the eye. Imagine a path through a slow, dim woodland, lit only by a soft round moon between the branches. The trees are no longer sharp, their bark is silvered, their leaves are deep, plum dark. The ferns at your feet are pools of grey. Your mind paints this whole night woodland in shades of mercy, smoothing every harsh corner into beauty. There is no need to hurry along this path. There is no need to know its end. The woodland is kind. The light is enough, and the soft, dim shapes of your sleeping room become, in your mind's gentle eye, exactly such a tender, mercy-painted nighttime forest of rest. The brain holds on to kindness longer than almost anything else. A single warm word echoing in its halls for years. The sound of someone calling you safe, dear, loved. Those small phrases settle into the soft chambers of you and never quite leave. Imagine an old chapel at the heart of you, its walls smooth grey stone, its windows full of soft, jewel-colored light. In the chapel, you may hear a faint echo of every kindness ever spoken to you, layered upon itself like the gentle ringing of bells far away. You do not need to listen to anyone in particular. The whole chapel hums with them. Tonight, that gentle hum wraps itself around your sleeping body, warm and luminous. Every small kindness you have ever received is here, holding you up like 1,000 soft hands, lifting you tenderly into the deep velvet hush of dreams. The brain has a special love for storytelling, organizing all of life into gentle little tales with beginnings and endings. Even your day, in this very moment, is being woven into a small story by the kind storyteller of your mind. She arranges the chapters tenderly. She softens the harder pages. She lifts up the small joys and lets them shine. Imagine her now, sitting beside a low fire in an old armchair, your day's story open on her lap. She reads it through, smiling, sighing, sometimes pausing to wipe a soft tear or to chuckle quietly. Then she closes the book and sets it on a high wooden shelf with all the other days. The shelf is long and lined with golden volumes. Tomorrow, she will begin a new chapter. Tonight, she draws her blanket up and dozes by the fire, just as you do. Inside the brain there is a small chemical called oxytocin, sometimes called the soft glue of love. It rises when you hug, when you laugh quietly with a friend, when a beloved pet rests its head on your knee. Imagine a tiny golden honey jar at the center of your chest, with a small, soft brush. Each time you have known kindness today, a drop of golden honey was painted gently somewhere inside you, sweetening the great soft loaf of your being. Tonight, that whole inner loaf is warm and fragrant. Like bread fresh from a slow oven, the honey has soaked deep into every quiet corner. The smell of it drifts soft as candlelight. As you breathe slowly, the warm bread of you settles further into the cradle of the bed, sweet and golden, lit from within by every gentle love that has touched your day. Your brain measures time not by the ticking of clocks, but by the rhythms of your body, the lift and fall of breath, the slow swing of the heart. That is why time feels different in different moments. Slower in a quiet bath, faster in a busy hour. Imagine an old grandfather clock turned to face a window full of moonlight. Its pendulum has stopped. Its hands rest at no particular hour. Time itself, here in your bedroom, is no longer a march, but a soft tide. It rises gently with your breath. It falls gently with your breath. There is no need to be on time for anything tonight. There is no train to catch in dreams, no bell to answer in sleep. Time has put down its arrows and lifted up a feather instead, and that feather is drifting, softly, softly, toward the floor. The brain holds a particular tenderness for water, listening with deep attention to streams, fountains, soft rain, and the slow breathing of the sea. We came long ago from such waters. Their sounds are old, old lullabies. Imagine a small wooden footbridge over a slow stream in a quiet valley, lit by lanterns hung from the willow trees. The water below moves so gently it barely whispers. Tiny silver fish drift in the deeper pools, sleeping with their eyes still open. You stand on the bridge and listen to the water humming its old, low song. Each ripple is a small, sleepy syllable. Each lantern is a soft, warm word. And as you listen, the great old language of water tells you, in its endless, kind way, that everything passes. Everything softens. Everything finds its quiet way home, just as you are finding yours tonight. Your brain is generous with comfort. When you imagine something kind, it responds as though it were truly happening, soothing the body, slowing the breath. That is why a soft daydream of a beach, a forest, or a warm kitchen can carry you quickly into peace. Imagine a sun-warmed beach at the very end of a long, golden afternoon. The sand is soft beneath your bare feet. The sea is a calm, glassy blue, gently rocking. A few gulls drift on the slow wind, white as paper. You walk slowly down to the water's edge, your shadow long behind you. The waves curl over your toes, warm as bath water. The sky above turns slowly to peach, then to lavender, then to deep, deep blue. And as the first soft star appears, your brain whispers gently, "This is real enough. This is rest. This is enough." There is a hidden softness inside the brain called the insula, a quiet inner listener that pays attention to the body's gentle whispers, the rhythm of breath, the warmth of tea on the tongue, the comfort of a deep, easy sigh. Imagine a small, kind monk sitting cross-legged in a soft circle of candlelight at the center of you. His robes are pale gray, his eyes are gently closed. He listens, simply listens to the slow weather of your body. When you breathe in, he smiles. When you breathe out, he bows his head. Tonight, his candle burns low and warm. His breathing is in time with yours. He hears your slow heart, and he is comforted. He hears your sleepy thoughts, and he is comforted. And as he listens with such infinite patience, you, dear listener, sink ever deeper into the round, kind quiet of your own self. Your brain is woven through with tiny rivers of blood, soft and warm, carrying gentle nourishment to every quiet corner. By night, these rivers flow more slowly, more peacefully like streams in a lowland meadow. Imagine a great, kind valley at twilight, threaded with small silver streams. The streams move so gently you can hear no rushing, only the soft hush of water through soft grass. Wildflowers drink at the banks, their petals folding shut for the night. Small creatures sip and slip away into their burrows. Above the valley, the sky deepens into a slow, generous blue, and within you, the small streams of your blood are doing the same kind work, watering your inner valley, hushing every distant murmur. As they slow, you slow. As they soften, you soften. The whole quiet valley of you breathes gently in the evening light. The brain is a master of patterns, finding gentle order in clouds, in tree bark, in the soft folds of curtains. Even in falling asleep, weaves the small details of the room around you into a soothing, unfolding pattern. Imagine a kind grandmother knitting a slow, simple stitch by lamplight, her wooden needles clicking softly. She is knitting the room into a sleep blanket, just for you. She knits the corner of the wall, the soft edge of the lamp, the curve of the curtain. She knits the hush of the air, the warmth of your blanket, the rhythm of your breath. With each stitch, The room becomes more deeply yours, more deeply safe. By the time her work is finished, you will be wrapped in a great, woven hush, soft as moss, warm as evening, cradling you all night long. Inside the brain, there are quiet places for music, places that hum softly even when no music is playing. A favorite melody, a long-forgotten lullaby, can stir these places like wind-stirring chimes in a doorway. Imagine an old garden in summer evening, with wind chimes hanging from the low branches of an apple tree. The breeze is mild. The chimes are soft, silver, brass, glass. They sound a slow, drifting music that no one composed, that no one needs to remember. You sit on a stone bench beneath the tree, your hands folded gently in your lap. The chimes whisper. The leaves answer. Inside you, the small musical garden of your brain sways in time with this peaceful music. Whatever song you most need tonight is being played somewhere within you. Gently, gently, just at the edge of hearing, lulling you towards soft sleep. The brain treasures the moment just before sleep. When waking and dreaming sit together for a little while, like two old friends sharing a single chair. Things you have seen, things you have imagined, become softly braided in the warm dim. Imagine the two friends now, dressed in long grey shawls, sitting in a single armchair by a low, kind fire. One is the day, one is the night. They lean their heads together. They share a small, slow yawn. They speak in murmurs you cannot quite hear, but you know the conversation is gentle. Soon, the day will rise quietly and slip out the door. The night will stay, smiling, warm. And you, dear listener, are in the chair with them, between them, held by their soft shawls, drifting in and out of their kind, quiet talk, drifting into sleep. Your brain finds a deep ease in moonlight, in soft, indirect light. By day it brightens, by night it softens. Even imagining moonlight can begin to slow it. Hush it, fold it gently into rest. Imagine your bedroom right now, lit not by lamps but by a great, kind moon outside the window. Soft silver paint covers the floor. Soft silver lace lies along your blankets. Even the dust in the air is glittering quietly, like the smallest of fireflies. The moon does not ask you to do anything. The moon does not need anything from you. The moon only watches, patiently, kindly, as you settle deeper into your pillow. Wherever the silver light touches you, it leaves a soft hush. Your forehead, your cheek, your closed eyes, your gently folded hands, all of you, slowly, slowly, moonlit, soft, asleep. Your brain remembers warmth more easily than cold, holding on to summer afternoons, hot teas and soft baths long after they have ended. By night it draws upon these warmths, layering them gently around you like soft quilts. Imagine a quiet attic full of folded quilts, each one stitched from a different remembered warmth. One quilt is the warmth of childhood baths. One is the warmth of bread fresh from the oven. One is the warmth of an old friend's hug. The kind grandmother of the house climbs the attic stairs with a small candle, lifts down quilt after quilt, and carries them gently to your bed. She lays them over you one by one, smoothing each with the back of her hand. By the time she is finished, you are buried in soft warmths, each stitched from love. And so you sleep, deeply, deeply, dearly held. The brain dreams not only in pictures and sounds, but in small, soft feelings. A gentleness in the chest, a warmth in the hands, a quiet sense of being known. These feelings can linger long after a dream has ended, like the perfume of a flower in an empty room. Imagine an old greenhouse at the edge of a sleeping garden, full of slow, fragrant blossoms. Their petals are pale and luminous in the moonlight. Their scent is sweet, slow, almost musical. As you walk among them, the fragrance settles into your hair, your sleeves, your gentle breath. You will carry it with you into your dreams. You will carry it with you into the morning. You will not always know where it came from, but somewhere, deep inside the warm greenhouse of you, a small sleeping flower is forever quietly blooming, just for the love of you. Your brain, like the rest of you, was once held safely in deep, dark water, surrounded by the slow hum of your mother's heartbeat. That sound is one of the very first lullabies you ever knew. It still lives somewhere within you, ancient and tender. Imagine sinking into a warm, dim pool, your ears just below the soft surface, listening to a slow, steady drum far, far away. The drum does not hurry. The drum does not change. It simply beats, low and round, like the gentle pulse of the whole sleeping world. Above the water, the night sky is full of small, kind stars. Below, only the warm, dark hush of being held. You float between the two, safe and weightless, listening to that ancient drum, until your own heart finds the same slow rhythm and beats softly along, beat for beat. The brain finds great comfort in stories of returning home, coming back to a quiet room, coming back to a familiar voice, coming back to one's own slow, even breath. That is part of why sleep itself feels like coming home, night after night. For all the long years of a life, imagine a small wooden door at the end of a soft, mossy path, glowing warmly from within. Above the door hangs a tiny lantern. Beside it, a small wooden bench, scattered with old leaves. The door is yours. It has always been yours. It will always be yours. As you walk slowly toward it, the world behind you grows blurred and gentle. The door opens by itself, warm light spills out onto the path, and inside, in a softly lit room, your bed is already waiting. Perfectly turned down, perfectly safe. Your brain has a special tenderness for soft, slow voices. They lower the heart rate, smooth the breath, ease the small inner muscles of the face and shoulders. A voice like a kindly grandmother. A voice like a warm river. A voice like a slow lullaby in the next room. Imagine such a voice now, somewhere just beyond your closed eyes, telling you that all is well, that the day has done its work, that sleep is a gift you are allowed to receive. The voice does not need to speak loudly. The voice does not need to say much at all. Each word is soft, each pause is kind, each breath between words is full of patience. Wherever the voice touches you, your body grows a little easier, your shoulders lower, your jaw softens. Your forehead unfolds, like a slow, gentle flower in the dark. Your brain often holds a quiet inner sky, a sense of vast, kind space inside you, just behind your closed eyes. By night, this inner sky deepens and softens, becoming the color of midnight velvet. Imagine yourself lying in a soft meadow under such a sky, far from any town, far from any light. The grass beneath you is warm and dry. The night air is cool against your cheeks. Above you, a million tiny stars hang at every depth, some near, some impossibly far. There is nothing to look for in this sky. There is nothing to do beneath it. You may simply lie there, breathing slowly, watching the gentle drift of stars. With each breath out, the sky deepens. With each breath in, the air grows kinder. And inside your skull, a sky just like this one is opening. Slowly, slowly, just for you. Inside the brain, there is a soft give and take, an inhalation and exhalation of attention. By day, it reaches outward, listening, watching, learning. By night, it gently folds inward, like a flower closing its petals against the cool. Imagine a great pale water lily floating on a still, dark pond. By day, its petals open wide to the sun, glowing creamy white. By night, slowly, they close one petal at a time until the flower is a soft, sleeping bud upon the silvery water. So your attention now folds inward, closing one petal at a time. The petal that watches the world, the petal that listens to the day, the petal that thinks ahead to tomorrow. Each one folds, soft and unhurried, until only the deepest, sleepiest center of you remains, floating on the calm pond of your breath, pale and dreaming. Your brain has been making sense of light and shadow since long before you can remember. Even in your earliest days, before words, you watched the soft play of shadows on a ceiling, the slow movement of curtains in a window. Those gentle visions are stitched deep into the cloth of you. Imagine yourself as a very small one, lying on your back in a dim, warm room, watching the shadows of leaves dance softly on the ceiling above. The light is golden. The shadows are slow. There is nothing you must do, nothing you must understand. You simply watch, with wide, peaceful eyes, as the world makes its small, kind dance just for you. That same warm, dim room is around you tonight, beneath your eyelids. The same small dance of shadow and light is dancing somewhere within you, soothing the most ancient parts of you to sleep. The brain delights in the soft, slow textures of nature, mossy stones, weathered wood, fluffy clouds, the rough warmth of an old wool blanket. These textures speak gently to the oldest parts of the mind, telling them, the world is steady, the world is here, you may rest. Imagine running a fingertip slowly along the bark of an ancient tree on a cool, hushed evening. The bark is rough but kindly so, full of small valleys and ridges. The tree has stood through many winters, it will stand through many more. Beneath your finger, you can almost feel the slow pulse of its life. And that calm, ancient steadiness flows up through your hand, into your arm, into your shoulder, into the great quiet of you, telling you you too may stand, you too may rest, you too may be still and well and safe. The brain has a deep appreciation for symmetry, for soft balance, for things that come gently into pairs. Two hands, two slow eyes, two small lungs lifting and falling like a pair of warm wings. By night, this love of balance turns inward. Imagine a quiet mirror at the center of you, smooth and silver, in which everything restless finds its calm reflection. Whatever feeling rises in you, the mirror gently meets it with its quiet equal. A small worry meets a small comfort. A small sigh meets a small softness. A small ache meets a small kindness. Tonight the mirror is doing its slow, kind work, finding the gentle other half for everything inside you, until all is balanced, smooth and still, like a perfectly calm pond beneath a windless sky. And in this quiet balance you sink easily into deep, deep rest. Your brain holds within it the memory of every safe place you have ever known. A sunny windowsill, a warm chair by a fire, a favorite tree in a childhood garden. These places live in you still, like small jewels in a velvet pouch. Imagine drawing the pouch open now, gently spilling its tiny shining stones into the palm of your hand. Each one glows with a soft, particular light, a meadow you wandered, a lake you swam in, a kitchen you sat in. You may choose any one of them to slip into tonight, like a small door. Whichever you choose, that place will receive you with all of its old, tender warmth. The trees will lean toward you. The light will soften. The air will smell exactly right. And there, in your truest safe place, your sleeping mind lays itself down perfectly home. Your brain practices love even while you are asleep, dreaming of those who matter to you, holding their faces in soft, slow inner light. Even far apart, even long-parted, even those who have gone before, they are gently gathered every night in the quiet halls of you. Imagine a long, low table set in a softly lit room, candles glowing in tarnished silver holders. Around the table sit all the dear ones your heart has ever held. They are not speaking. They are simply smiling, watching over you with infinite kindness. The candles flicker gently. The room is warm, The walls are softened by old, kind shadows. As you lie sleeping in your own bed, that warm room glows somewhere inside you, full of love, full of welcome, full of the great quiet company of every soul who has ever wished you well. The brain feels deep ease in the color green, the color of forests, meadows, and sleeping gardens. Even imagining green leaves can begin to lower the breath, slow the heart, soften the soft inner eye. Imagine yourself walking into a quiet wood at the very edge of evening. The light is the color of moss. The leaves above you whisper, low and slow. The path beneath you is cool and soft. You walk for a long time without seeing anyone, because there is no one else to see, only the tall, peaceful trees, the slow ferns, the small mossy stones. Each step you take, the green deepens. Each breath you take, the air grows kinder. By the time you find a clearing, the moon is just rising. You sit on a soft, mossy log. You close your eyes. The whole green world breathes slowly with you. Your brain has a special love for the small, repetitive acts of gentleness, the brushing of hair, the kneading of bread, the slow stirring of soup, the rocking of a baby. These motions are little lullabies in motion. Imagine an old kitchen at dusk, lit by a single hanging lamp, where someone you have loved is slowly stirring a pot of something warm. The wooden spoon turns in slow, kind circles. The pot steams gently. The smell is of comfort itself. You sit at the kitchen table, your hands resting around a small ceramic cup. You do not need to speak. The slow stirring is enough. The warm light is enough. The presence of love is enough. Inside you, a similar slow stirring is happening. A soft, kindly motion at the center of you, smoothing every tiredness, every small ache, every unkind thought away. The brain holds its own quiet music of rest, called the resting state, when no particular task is being performed, and the mind simply hums in soft idle. It is one of the brain's favorite songs. Imagine a little wooden music box left open on a windowsill, its tiny dancer slowly turning, its gentle melody barely louder than the breath of the room. No one is winding it, no one is listening too closely. It is simply allowed to play itself, slow and sweet, until it gradually winds down. Inside you tonight, that music box is open. The tiny dancer is turning. The slow melody is the rhythm of your own quiet thoughts, drifting without aim, drifting without effort, drifting toward the soft window of sleep. And as the box winds gently down, your thoughts wind gently down too, into a hush so warm you barely notice it arriving. Your brain has been shaped by every kind person you have ever met, even briefly. A bus driver's smile, a stranger's gentle thank you, a waiter's quiet patience. Each tiny kindness left a tiny mark, a soft little curl in the silver lace of you. Imagine the great lace cloth of your mind held up to a kind light. Each curl is a small kindness someone gave you, perhaps without ever knowing. Some curls are large, the loves of your life. Some are small, a brief, warm look from someone whose name you never knew. Together, they form the soft pattern of who you have become. Tonight, the lace lies smoothed across your sleeping form like an heirloom blanket. You are covered in kindness, threaded by countless gentle hands, and every soft curl whispers, "Tonight, you may rest, you may rest, you may rest." The brain, like the body, is renewed by sleep. Old worries are gently softened. Tomorrow's energies are quietly stitched together from the calm hours of tonight. Imagine a small, kind seamstress in a soft moonlit workshop, mending the soft cloth of you with slow, careful hands. She finds a small fray, the place where a worry tugged at you today, and stitches it closed with silver thread. She finds a small tear, where a hard word brushed against you, and patches it with velvet. She works without hurry, She hums a low, low tune. By morning, the cloth of you will be smoother than it was yesterday. The colors will be a little brighter. The little phrase will be gone. And as she works, you sleep deeply, content beneath the kindly light of her lamp. Mended, mended, gently mended. Your brain has a soft fondness for the smell of old books, of pine forests, of warm earth after rain. These scents speak in an older language than words, carrying the memory of safety, of shelter, of life. Imagine a small library at the edge of a forest, its windows open to a slow rain. The smell of old paper and pine and soft, wet earth drifts through every shelf. Lamps glow warmly. A worn velvet armchair waits beside a quiet fire. You sit down, breathing in the deep, kind air. Each breath is a soft homecoming. Each scent is a small, slow promise. Outside, the rain continues to murmur. Inside, the library hums with quiet, kind comfort. And inside you, that same library lives forever. And tonight, you may walk slowly into it, sit down in the velvet armchair, and rest, and rest, and rest. The brain has wonderful soft maps of your loved ones, special sets of cells that brighten gently whenever you think of someone you cherish. Even when they are far away, you carry them in this kind internal way. Imagine a small painting gallery deep inside you, its walls hung with portraits of the dearest faces of your life. Each portrait is lit by its own warm candle. Each candle never quite goes out. Tonight, perhaps you walk slowly through this gallery, pausing before each face, smiling softly, remembering a small, kind moment. The candles flicker gently as you pass. The faces seem to smile back. By the time you reach the end of the gallery, you are lit from within by the soft light of all those loves. And so you carry them with you into your sleep, dear company in the warm dark of dreams. Your brain gently rocks itself to sleep on a slow, internal swing called the breath, lifting and falling, in long, generous arcs. By day, the swing is quick. By night, lengthens, slows, deepens, until each lift and fall is as long as a whole soft thought. Imagine a wooden swing hung from the bough of an enormous oak tree, in a meadow at dusk. The swing moves only with the gentlest of breezes. Each forward arc carries you toward the soft horizon. Each backward arc carries you toward the warm, sleeping tree. There is no hurry. There is nothing you must reach. The swing simply lifts and falls, and you ride it with closed eyes and a small, peaceful smile, until the meadow itself, and the great oak, and the slow horizon, all blur softly into dreams. The brain remembers the feeling of being rocked, even in adulthood, even in old age. That is why hammocks, swings, slow trains, and gentle boats lull us so easily into sleep. Imagine yourself in a small wooden boat upon a calm lake at evening. Above you, the sky is rose and lavender. Around you, the water stretches long and silver, gently rippling. Inside the boat, soft cushions cradle you. A folded woolen blanket lies at your feet. The boat rocks slowly, lifted by a tiny breath of wind, settled by a gentle swell of water. There is no need to row. There is no shore you must reach. The lake will hold you all night long. As the sky deepens, your eyes grow heavy, and the boat carries you, kindly and patiently, toward the soft shore of dreams. Inside your brain, there is a quiet awareness of being alive, soft as the warmth in the center of a small loaf of bread. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is simply there, the gentle, glowing fact of you. Imagine that warm, small loaf sitting upon a wooden table by a window in a country kitchen. The kitchen is dim, lit only by the slow, peach light of evening. The loaf rests there, breathing softly, perfectly itself. No one needs to slice it. No one needs to taste it. It is simply a quiet, warm presence in the room. So you, dear listener, are tonight. A quiet, warm presence in the world, whole, cared for, beloved by your own life. And as you breathe slowly in your bed, the warm loaf inside you grows softer, sweeter, ready to dream the long, slow, kind dream of rest. The brain, like a kind old gardener, knows that some things grow best in stillness, in the quiet hours when no one is watching. Many of the loveliest changes in you happen while you sleep, deeper than thought, deeper than effort. Imagine a slow, hidden garden under the moon, where pale flowers open only at night. The gardener does not stand over them. The gardener does not fuss. He simply sits on a worn wooden bench in the corner, smoking a slow, fragrant pipe, watching with great affection. The flowers do their work in the dark, opening petal by petal, releasing their soft perfume into the calm night air. So tonight, somewhere inside you, soft inner flowers are doing the same. You may not feel them. You do not need to. The kind gardener of your sleep is simply watching, smiling, content with the slow magic of you. Your brain loves the sound of your own slow breath, recognizing it as the most familiar music of your life. From your very first breath to this one, that gentle music has carried you. Imagine an old harbor at night, where small boats are tethered to wooden posts, rocking gently with the slow swell of the tide. Each boat creaks softly, almost like breathing. Each rope hums faintly with the steady rhythm of the water. You stand on the quiet dock, listening. The harbor breathes. The boats breathe. The whole sleepy town beyond breathes too, and inside you, your own slow breath joins this great, gentle chorus. In and out. Lift and fall. Tide and tide and tide. The music has been playing all your life, and tonight it plays especially softly, especially kindly, lulling you toward the deep, deep harbor of sleep. There is a soft place inside the brain where wonder lives, kept warm and lit even through the longest nights. Wonder is the kind, childlike capacity to find the world beautiful, to be hushed by stars, to be moved by a fallen leaf. Imagine a small lantern glowing in a child's hand in the upstairs window of an old country house at night. The child is gazing out at the snow, at the quiet stars, at the great, soft mystery of the world. Their eyes are wide and shining. Their breath is slow with awe. That child still lives inside you, tucked into the warm window of you, holding a small, kind lantern of wonder. Tonight, that little lantern glows gently, lighting the way to your dreams, and the wonder, like the child, is quiet, peaceful, deeply content to simply be, to simply be, to simply be. Your brain, this small coral island in the soft moonlit fluid, this tiny galaxy of sleeping stars, this kindly cottage of memory and love, has carried you faithfully through every hour of this day and every hour of every day before. Tonight, in this slow, warm dark, you may thank it gently, simply by allowing it to rest. Imagine yourself bowing softly to the great, kind cottage at the heart of you. The lamps within are dimmed. The fire is banked. The little priestess of sleep, the kind storyteller, the small seamstress, the gentle gardener, are all curled up quietly in their own corners. The doors are closed, the roof is warm, the snow is falling softly outside. And you, dear listener, are deep within this wonderful, wonderful place, held by every tender part of yourself, ready now for the long, deep, beautiful sleep of being whole. And so, dear listener, our slow, soft journey through the gentle country of the human brain begins to draw toward its quiet end. We have wandered through coral folds and silver lace, through warm cottages and hidden gardens, through libraries and lighthouses and small wooden bridges hung with paper lanterns. And all the while, the kind, marvelous brain inside you has been listening too, breathing more slowly, growing more peaceful, settling deeper into the soft cradle of the night. Let us take one last gentle look at the wonder of this small, glowing place. Imagine, for a slow moment, all that we have spoken of resting now in the warm dark of you. The little seahorses of memory, curled tail to tail in their velvet caves. The sleepy almond, dreaming by its low orange fire. The wise old lighthouse on the inner shore, its lamp turned down to a single honey glow. The tiny pinecone gland, scattering soft moonlight along the corridors of your body. The kind storyteller, the soft seamstress, the gentle gardener, all settled in their own warm corners, breathing softly with you. And around them all, the great silver tide of cerebrospinal fluid is rising, washing the inner shores of you, carrying away every small dust of the day. The tide does not hurry. The tide does not slow. It simply moves through you in long, generous waves, leaving everything kinder, everything cleaner, everything ready for the gentle dawn that is still many, many soft hours away. Outside, the night is deep and dark and tenderly held by stars. Inside, you are warm, you are safe, you are loved by your own slow breath. The brain that has carried you faithfully through all the hours of your life is now content to lay down its lanterns, fold its small, silver wings, and rest. There is nothing more to do tonight. There is nothing more to know. There is only the long, soft music of your breathing, and the great kind hush of sleep, drawing you down, deeper and deeper, into its quiet, velvet arms. And now, dear listener, the gentle journey of our voice begins to fade, like the last warm light of an old lantern, slowly dimming in a quiet upstairs window. You have traveled far tonight, through the soft, glowing country of yourself, and you have arrived exactly where you were always meant to arrive, here, in the warm hollow of your own bed, beneath the kind weight of your own quiet blankets, held by the slow, steady tide of your own gentle breath. Take a moment, if you wish, to feel how soft you have become. The small muscles of your face are at peace. Your shoulders rest deeply into the pillow. Your hands lie open and warm, like two small, sleeping birds in a nest of moss. Your breath has lengthened. Your heart has slowed. The whole of you has drifted gently into the rhythm of the night. Whatever the day asked of you, it has been answered now. Whatever you carried, you may set down here. The kind storyteller inside you has closed her book. The little priestess of sleep has dimmed every lamp. The wise old lighthouse on the inner shore has turned its lamp down to a single honey glow. There is nothing more for you to do. There is nowhere else for you to go. You are exactly, perfectly, tenderly home. In a moment, my voice will quietly drift away, and a soft music tuned to 432 Hz will begin to flow gently through the air around you. Let it carry you onward, the way a slow river carries a small wooden boat. Let it hold you, the way a kind hand holds a sleeping child. You do not need to follow the music. You do not need to do anything at all. You may simply rest. Simply rest. Simply rest. If this slow journey was a comfort to you, you are warmly welcome to gently tap the like button and quietly subscribe, so that more soft nights may find their way to you, like small lanterns drifting slowly down a calm and silver stream. For now, dear listener, breathe slowly. Sink softly. Let the warm dark of night wrap itself entirely around you. Let the gentle music begin, and let it carry you all the way down into the deepest, kindest, most beautiful sleep. Good night, and sleep deeply.